Man, let me tell you, I think I took too long to start riding.
Hey, what's going on, Ryder? I see you rolling, but you shot some equipment, no?
Yeah. I'm missing is my jacket.
Ah, I see. So once you get that, you're all set.
And I'll get riding shoes.
Yeah, there's so many options nowadays. I'm thinking of getting a brand new pair of calf high for myself.
Yeah, I saw something like that online and I actually want to get a pair.
So have you got any good jackets yet, or anything in mind, or anything that sparks your interest?
The jackets I'm seeing, they a bit expensive.
Hey, but you gotta remember, you can't budget your safety.
Yeah, I know. I have no problem in getting them, huh?
I agree. You don't want multiple, but you want something that would last a long time and do what it needs to do.
I want a mixed jacket with leather and kind of like yours, but it has a lot of leather as well, so that
Yeah, it's so true.
so that I get the durability of the leather, but also, I mean, you know, leather keeps a lot of heat already. That when I ride in, I get to get a lot of air for cooling.
I always say that one of the things that, was an advantage to me is that I got my gear very early.
I think the flip side to that is you, for example, I'm looking at my case right now there with the gloves. If I had started riding with gloves from the very beginning, I'd have been much more comfortable with the gloves. But right now I'm struggling with it.
Yeah, it's so true. I would recommend to all new riders or even students thinking of riding to purchase gear even before they purchase a motorcycle. Of all the equipment that I own, my helmet probably took me the most time to get used to.
You know, I got used to mine right away. What I did when I got mine, I wore it in the house for for a few minutes, for a few days, and then when I went on the bike, I rode with it open because I was used to getting the blast in my face, the wind blast. And then within no time, I was okay. Even my visor, I did the visor so easily. I was surprised at myself.
I must say, having a helmet on in this tropical climate, whoa, the heat.
Now, you know, that's one of the reasons why I appreciate the open face helmet, because, you know, you get this constant blast of fresh air. I mean, you could do it with this helmet, but as you see, because of the design, a lot more air gets trapped into the helmet.
Hey, so I have to know, what do you enjoy most about riding and being on a motorcycle?
The freedom. When I jump on my bike, I don't think about anything else. Just enjoy not having to worry about anything else except what I'm doing.
Many people discourage new riders, and I think that's mostly due to fear on their part.
You know, the sad thing about that kind of mentality, I mean, like, not to do something because the person is not into it, it prevents a lot of people from discovering themselves. Because who knows, if I had really taken up riding when I first wanted, I could have been the next Rossi
Or
Marc
even
Marquez. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I find when I ride, when I go back home, I'm tired. I'm properly tired. One of the reasons why I thought of changing from my MTO to maybe a MTO 9 or a Tracer, something for a bit more body. I'm not,
Okay.
I think that the power of this bike is fine, the MTO 7, don't need anything more, but I'm just looking for something a little bit bigger so that I'll be a bit more comfortable. Yeah, man.
But
Although I find there is nothing wrong with this, but I've never really seen myself on this bike, so I don't have a very good idea of what I would look like on this bike. You know, so.
But to me, the 9 and the 7 don't really have much of a size difference per se.
You know,
I don't know, that's just
finding that out more and more. That to me, they're quite similar. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if the difference is more in the sitting. Well, they have similar sitting positions, but with the
Yeah.
9, I find like my feet are more below me, compared to this one, my feet somewhat more forward. And I don't know if it's because I've ridden this bike so long, I feel very comfortable on it.
Well, it could be that too.
Yeah. Something I realize in riding, for example, if you're going around the corner and something happens, like say you see a critter, instinctively you would want to either maybe brake or ease off the gas. You know that puts more weight on the bike and that pulls you more into the corner or into the critter or whatever it is.
What motorcycles have you ridden?
MT-09, I've been on the FZ6, I've been on the FZ8, I've been on what else? These bikes. I've been on a Honda 600RR. Oh yeah, I don't know if it's a 600RR, but one of those race Hondas.
This is your first bike. Why did you choose that machine in particular?
You know, I wasn't really interested in buying an MT. It's because that's what was available. I mean, I got it at a good price. I bought it. Suspension is a bit soft. That's the only thing I find about it. Depending on the kind of bump or whatever, I'd feel like it wants to throw me off the bike. But I mean, I'm accustomed to it. I anticipate that already. So if you do not respect it, I mean, as with any other bike, but I guess more because of the power, it will put you on your backside quick and you'll not even know what happened. Although I ride only on a weekend, mainly on a weekend, when I'm on my bike, I'm the happiest. Nothing else bothers me. I don't worry about anything.
I could imagine. That's how
Yeah,
I
man.
feel when I scuba dive and
You know,
have this in it again. What?
and it's quite funny that, I mean, I'm on a bike and, you know, I run the risk of getting wet in the rain. When I jump on my bike, I don't even care about that. I get wet and I don't even care because, you know, I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
But like you said, I think more people should get into riding.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So they'll have a deeper appreciation and respect
Yeah,
for
man.
it.
Yeah.
Used to drive trucks. I will not understand what it is to handle a truck. I've never done it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, like driving on the highway, I'd be like, come on, guy, you can move to the side. Let me pass. Let me through. Because I don't have an appreciation or an understanding of what it's like to handle a machine like that.
You know, but as you said so, a lot of people tend to get angry when the drivers, truck drivers specifically, like on the two lanes, hug up the center of the road. And you know, it's for a very simple reason. They take the center because the lanes, one, are so small that when they go around the corners, their tires would probably be going over the curb. And that in itself could be very dangerous.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's a bit of an inconvenience because, you know, you want to pass, but at the same time, there's a reason why. I find we've become so hasty in everything that we want to do. I, myself, a case in that everywhere I go in, I want to get there quick, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes, you know, you just need to sit back and just enjoy the little things and let time pass us by and enjoy what's happening in those moments, man. I try to practice that often, like when I'm riding, always to be, when I'm driving as well, always be aware of what vehicle is behind me and what's happening.
Brother. I keep telling myself I'm lacking so I can do it a lot more, is glancing.
Glancing, yeah, man.
Yeah.
The only issue I think I have is that I find with my bike, I tend to get a lot of my arms and elbows, right? Yeah, my elbows in my mirror. Yeah, I tend to have to actually make the conscious effort to move on the side just to see what's behind me. But when I'm leaning, I get a perfect view because I'm in the lean position already. We had a teacher that instilled that a lot, man. So
yeah.
Lincoln is amazing, man. The work he does,
brilliant.
You know, the way he explains it, he has a knack for what he's doing, and you could see he has a good appreciation for what he's doing. And I could never regret paying my money with Lincoln. He's doing what he's doing not for the money, but for the love and for the
love of it.
Yeah, man. I got my license and I bought my bike right away. And I know I probably made a few mistakes, but I was confident enough that what I had learned, that I would have been safe. I would have been fine. I was a bit hesitant to go too up riding, like a passenger behind me. And not because I didn't think that I could have done it, but I just felt like within myself that, you know what, I should probably get a little bit more riding experience before I do it. And about maybe 2 months after I got my license, a friend of mine wanted a ride, and I went with him. We came back, and when I told him, if I told you that I've never ridden with somebody else, you might tell me I lie. I tell him I'm serious. I just got my license, I bought a bike, and that's the first time I'm riding with somebody else. He was really, really impressed. If I didn't say anything, he would have never even known. And based on that, he's willing to go anywhere with me because he feels that I'm capable enough. And I also feel that. So pretty soon that means she'll come and start riding.
I'll tell you what, I've already realized behind me she's reading the road. So, for example, she'll know when I'm about to apply the brakes, not because I'm actually applying the brakes, but because of what the two vehicles ahead of me
doing. Well, she's looking ahead.
So, you know, she see a pothole, I can feel her knees gripping me.
Gripping up, yeah.
So I know she's reading the road.
Awareness, that's really good.
But all of that again is just confidence from a really amazing instructor. Another thing I appreciate as well, being on the 125, it forces me to do a lot more things. Changing gears, whether it's downhill, uphill.
Okay.
Whereas you can just keep going in whatever gear I have to change.
Know,
so,
in a sense, that's true. But I find with my bike, I change gears quite a bit. Because my bike is a very talky bike, and I find the gears are kind of close. So
okay.
I'll change gears quite a bit, man. Like now that I'm coming down the hill and I'm coming down in second.
Yeah, I'm in second as well.
I'm sure between I would have changed gears maybe about 6 times. I'll go from second to third, fourth, back to third.
Okay.
Just because it's the kind of bike it is.
I've seen that on so many videos where a smaller CC bike allows you the opportunity to develop. I feel like with a bigger CC, it forces you to learn handling. But this one, it like you understand. Oh,
you understand what you're doing.
If I do this, all right. But with that one, like you have so much power, you go in. When you do that, you're like, whoa, like you did it, but you don't really understand
why or what happened. I've heard it too, but equally, I don't know. I think my decision to start on a 7, I think it was a good decision for me, because I don't know. I like to push myself. And I'm not saying that I will not be able to push myself on a smaller bike, but I think this bike allows me to push myself and within the limits of the bike, the capability of the bike.
All right.
Yeah, so like there is so much more in reserve that I'm nowhere near the capability of that bike. I don't even think I'm 50% near the capabilities of this bike. Understand about this bike though, this bike is meant to be a town bike, but then it gets hot so quickly. Although it goes up into the range for the fan to kick on quite easily, it cools down quickly as well.
So what are your thoughts on group rides?
I don't mind riding with a group, but it has to be not too big of a group.
Yeah, so you're telling me a story about this particular corner. What went down?
When I took the corner, I couldn't go any lower, and the bike just started drifting into the middle of the road.
Were you too fast for the turn?
I did not realize the corner was so... I knew it was a U-turn, but I didn't expect to be so sharp.
And how did you correct that?
I gently applied my brakes.
And you just went around.
And I just went around.
Well, I must say you seem to have handled it very well on this particular turn.
Well, this time as much slower, so yeah.
As we ride, we all continue to develop. So, I mean, you can only expect to get better.
Because I got even another guy and his very early experience, so I was following his cues, watching what he's doing.
Busted. So you're riding his ride.
No, not his ride, but I was like, trying to analyze what he's doing vis-a-vis what I was doing and where I was and everything. Because they've always said...
but did you lose focus though?
I was focused. But I'm telling you, somebody else is an experienced rider, so you look at what they're doing vis-a-vis what you're doing to identify if you're making any mistakes or anything. So when you went around the corner, his bike could lean much more than mine. Because it's a taller bike he has.
So it sounds like you're ready to upgrade. I mean, what would you like to upgrade to?
I'm looking at the MT-09 or the MT-09 Tracer for now. But ultimately, the bike I fell in love with was the Z9.
So you're aiming for 900cc?
In a way, yes, but the Z9 is more like a street city bike, kind of like this one, well, a bigger one. So they have a lot of low-end bottom power, not a very high top speed.
I would like to thank you for riding along.
The pleasure is all mine. Hope we can do it again.
You were an excellent riding partner.
Thanks for that, man. And you're a great instructor.
I'm a student rider, and I will always be a student rider.
Following in the footsteps of your mentor. Yeah, man.
As you would say, wow, man. Yep, it was fun. It was fun. Thanks so much, man.
I never get that kind of treatment when I ride in with Lincoln. Lincoln never brought me, only person Lincoln brought me ancillary, and he brought me, apart from ancillary, Lincoln never brought me anywhere else. Ancillary, anyway, from ancillary, we did a Deglo, Twapita, Bocage, and back to Mancha. But to say we've gone far,